Jason Raper, please come forward.
Morning, Judge. Gary Trichter for Mr. Abrams.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Trichter?
Wonderful. Here with Mr. Macon.
Yes.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Let me,
It's pretty easy. Closer to
are we having this?
Yeah, I got Paul. I think Paul was the one that's there.
No, paperwork. It is. Trying to make a claim on the paperwork
I need to talk about.
on the docket.
He said something. Say your last name?
mine.
Yes, sir.
He is in Tango, R-I-C-H-T-E-R, Garrett. Thank you.
Okay. Court is in session and calls number 23-CCCR 2044. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Jason Eugene Raper. Mr. Raper, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Raper, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Raper, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Raper?
Fine, sir, yourself.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Raper, you're representing this case by Attorney Gary Trichter. Attorney Trichter, how are you doing?
Wonderful, Judge.
That's good. And you also have local counsel, Attorney James Macon, who's sitting in the courtroom. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Raper, I have before me a document that is, well, before going any further, Attorney Trichter, do you waive a record of Mr. Raper's case?
We do, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Raper, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. It's information sheet filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you were, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated and alcohol concentration level 0.15 or more. State, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
We are, Your Honor.
The state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. And what that means is, instead of being charged with a Class A misdemeanor, DWI, you will be charged with a lesser included offense, a Class B misdemeanor, DWI. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about June 7th of 2023, while you were operating a motor vehicle in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Raper, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials. On a line next to a box that's checked guilty, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document on paper that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Raper, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Raper, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
State offer states one.
Any objections to state's exhibit number 1?
No, Your Honor.
No objection, state's exhibit number 1 will be admitted, strictly you're advised and counsel. Mr. Raper, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
There's none.
And Mr. Raper, your attorney, Attorney Trickler, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
And your attorney, James Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Raper, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 14 months deferred probation, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, plus DWI standard conditions of probation and interlock.
What is the court clause? Okay, Mr. Raper, the state is offering that you serve 14 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 14-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 for court costs, or $392. You will be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100. Probation fee of $60 a month, urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation is $158 a month. Will you be able to pay the $158?
Judge, if I may, if the clerk will accept a credit card, he'll pay it all today.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you'll pay that at the probation
Accept
department, yeah.
probation.
I don't know if they, wow, do they,
Looks
I
like
don't know, I don't know their methods of payments over there. But if it's possible, if they accept credit cards, he could pay it off. Okay, now, well, my next question was, would you be able to pay the $150, $58 each month? Obviously, if you're gonna pay it off today, you can pay it. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you want to operate, attend a completed DWI education class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Mr. Raper, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Raper, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Raper, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case is going to be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorneys about the non-disclosure because they're quite confident in those matters. Now, Mr. Raper, you're going to stand next to the bailiff, follow her direction. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Richter, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
And, yes,
Deal with the court now that he has already completed his victim impact panel and his education program, and he'll furnish probation completion certificates of that.
okay, that's good. And, Mr. Maker, you have any more cases?
No, yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, okay. All right. Please stand next to the bailiff, and y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. Very good to work with.
All right, thank you. That's the only one we have. Jared Hargroder.
Your Honor, he called me, he's got a fever, he's throwing up. And I told him just to stay home. I asked for the week
Okay.
reset.
Okay, I guess what we need to do is if you can get verification.
I'm to be working on getting.
Okay. She wants to know, well, is he able to appear on Zoom?
Oh, I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, if he doesn't get it, he won't get a doctor to see if he'll appear by Zoom.
Okay.
That'll be fine. Now, before we do that one, will you have another one, Mackey?
That's gonna be a plea, Your Honor.
What is? And that's at the letter? Yeah,
I'm
okay.
just waiting on the.
Oh, okay, well, let me do this here. Let me let you use this one, so I don't think we have none ready. You could use that one. Yes,
Thank you.
okay. That's gonna be a plea. Make,
Yes.
I guess she's gonna give you the Zoom ID.
Another one that become available.
Okay. Diarbis Gonzalez. Is that right?
Been calling him.
Are you
Mr. Gonzalez, your full name is Yorvis Miguel Gonzalez?
Sir,
How you doing, Mr. Gonzalez?
I'm fine. Thank you. What about you, sir?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, you representing your case by your attorney Benjamin Jeffers. Attorney Jeffers, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor, thank you.
And Mr. Jeffers, what is your announcement in Mr. Gonzalez's case?
Mr. Gonzalez has applied and been accepted to pretrial diversion. We're just waiting on the next sign-up date. which
Oh,
I
you,
think
so
is in
you,
April.
okay,
I think it's in April.
I think it's April, so we're gonna set this second week in April. You're gonna get your reset, Mr. Gonzalez, from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go. And this is on the case,
That is correct. Your
you're
Honor.
free to go once you get your reset.
Thank you.
Okay, what's that date?
April 7th.
Okay, be reset to April 7th. Mitchell Warner,
Your Honor, he said during court, this morning, we're set for trial at 11, so I'll bring him over when we finish.
okay,
He was there this morning. He'll be
Okay.
back there at 11.
so he's in drug court, okay. And Brandon Gardner,
Ready,
it's on the announcement document.
ready for now. Ready for trial, sir. Come on, Kansas City. You ready?
Okay, we're gonna reset it for trial.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Gardner?
Fine.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Give us a reset date. Okay, to be reset March 24th, 2025. And let's see if we have somebody on the. Kendrick Booker. You're gonna keep this on the trial docket?
We're ready. I don't think they have a witness, Your Honor, so we could try to do that today.
State,
Chance.
who's is that, Booker, that's Andrew.
Mr. Hughes, thank you.
On, Booker. The state said that y'all have a witness. That's on the trial docket, page 3. Bail bonds, Orange County. Kendrick Booker is his name. Okay, hold on a minute. He's checking his computer.
My last notes reflect that we do have a complaining witness, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
I said, my last notes reflect that we do have a complaining
Okay,
witness.
so we're gonna keep this on. the-
Well, I don't doubt they have a complaining witness, Your Honor. I don't think they have a complaining witness who's gonna show up.
Well, that would be an issue for the day of trial, which will be reset
Today.
today. No,
Yeah.
We're set today for.
Yeah, court reporter is not available.
You didn't get it.
Okay. And Elijah Lewis,
Good.
you got the same announcement?
Trial ready.
Okay, so that'll be reset on a date too.
Just wait. She'll give you.
Okay.
Reset.
And it was reset, Judge, and that's.
Okay, this is Waldor Sandoval Cortez. Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Sandoval Cortez? You doing good? That's good. Now you said, now you representing this case by Mr. Rojas. And Mr. Rojas, first of all, how are you doing?
Doing great, Judge.
And Mr. Sandoval Cortez, how are you doing? Good. Now, and the state is representing this case by Attorney Shane Hilton.
Yes, sir.
Attorney Hilton, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now,
Morning.
Mr. Rojas, what is your announcement?
Mr. Sandoval has a felony over in drug court that was reset this morning, Judge. I've asked that this be set along with that. I don't know if it's in the
Okay.
computer yet.
Yeah, okay, oh, okay. We're gonna reset it with his felony, the same offense date. Do we know if the felony has been reset? Okay. Okay, your case is gonna be reset with your felony. Just have a seat and she's gonna look it up. And Mr. Rojas, you have any more cases?
I had some that signed pretrial diversion last week, Judge. They should be dismissed.
Okay, they probably,
Kelly Taylor. I think she's the one. Yeah, that's the only one I have.
okay. All right, you're free to go. You say, what, let's see, okay, he has Taylor. Okay, you did. Okay.
Judge, may I approach?
Let's see. No.
It's not one on me now.
Ruben Trevino. Mr. Trevino, your full name is Ruben Trevino Jr.?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Trevino?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Trevino, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Ray Minaldi. Attorney Minaldi, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge.
I'm doing fine now. Ms. Minaldi, what is your announcement in Mr. Trevino's case?
I'm requesting one more reset in Mr. Trevino's case. We have, some medical records that we were trying to get a hold of that we need to send out affidavits for and subpoenas for. And I think that once we have those, the case will be resolved, but if not, then we will have a direction after that.
Okay. Give us a reset date. Yeah. Okay, this case will be reset to March 2025. Mr. Trevino, you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Ms. Minaldi, is this your only case?
Yes, Judge.
You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Alvin Samuel, she's gonna call his case.
He's here.
Good morning.
Mine are ready except for the plea, and I think we're still waiting on the paperwork on the plea, but,
Okay, hold on, let me do this.
yeah.
What case are you pleading?
Mr. Wilson's cases are a plea.
Wilson,
And I think we're still waiting on the paperwork on that one, all the rest of the
Wilson's plea, okay.
are ready.
Okay. Oh, yes, you have one on Zoom, he's been on Zoom, okay.
Yeah,
You
two
have two
are
of them
on,
on Zoom,
yes.
okay. Spencer Marks. Mr. Marks?
Yes, sir, Judge. Sorry, I was
Okay,
trying to get,
how you doing, Mr. Marks?
I'm doing well, Judge. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Marks, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Corey Crenshaw. Attorney Crenshaw, how are you doing?
Doing great, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Crenshaw, what is your announcement in Mr. Marks' case?
Judge, this is one where everything has been submitted to Mr. Knopf for pretrial diversion, and it will be on the April signing date. If we could please reset this to the second week of April.
Yeah.
That way we're not scrambling on the first week. If we could come back the second week of April, this will be resolved with the pretrial diversion.
What's that date? 7th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this,
Can we do a little further than the 7th?
what about the 14th? It's on the
14th
pretrial
is
conference doc,
14th
which is
perfect.
page 1. That's the last case on page 1 of pretrial conference. Yeah. We
Yes.
do April 14th, 2025. Okay, Mr. At Marks, your
Yes,
case
sir.
can be reset to April 14th, 2025. Your attorney, your bondsman will give a notice of your reset, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman, you're free to go. And you have
Yes,
a
sir.
good day.
Thank you. You as well, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ozio Obispo,
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
good morning. How you doing, Mr. Obispo?
Doing good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Obispo, you're representing your case by your attorney, Corey Crenshaw. Attorney Crenshaw, what's your announcement?
Same announcement on this, gentleman, Your Honor. I'm still waiting on a letter from my client that the DA's office had requested, but we should have that this week, and this will also be on the April signing date. So if we could please come back on April 14th.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Obispo, your case will be reset to April 14th, 2025. Your attorney, your bondsman will be given notice of your reset date. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Your Honor. Thank you.
You are. Jose Salinas,
He's here present, Your Honor.
and Mr. Salinas. Your full name is Jose A. Salinas. How are you doing? Pretty good, sir. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Salinas, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Corey Crenshaw. Mr. Crenshaw, what's your announcement in Mr. Salinas' case?
Your Honor, Ms. Simmons and I are continuing to negotiate on this one. I'm very optimistic this is going to be resolved with a Class C, but she's not quite there yet. If we could please come back on April 14th, I'm optimistic we'll have a resolution at that date.
April 14th,
Yes, sir.
2025. Okay. Mr. Salinas, you're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day. You too, sir. Now, what about, what's that? Kamisha Broussard?
Kamisha Bruce, our judge, she already signed PTD, and that will be a
Oh.
dismissal this
Is she
morning.
on that list?
She's on the list, Judge, and we're just
Broussard. Okay,
I'm trying to get it up.
we're just
Judge.
waiting on
okay,
the tablet. to
okay,
get
so
going.
that'll be dismissed, okay. Okay,
And that just leaves Mr. Wilson. We ready on Mr. Wilson?
call
I still
Hunter
need to
Wilson.
send the two dismissals, I'll just keep it up right now.
Okay,
So if we can
Okay.
just recall him, Judge.
no, is the paperwork ready? Okay. When the paperwork's ready, we'll recall.
Thank
Did we have, where's Mr. Samuel go?
In the back.
Wallen Paul had not? Is he back there?
Thank you.
This is cause number 23 CCCR 0378. Cases style of state of Texas versus Wyland Paul Hadnot. Mr. Hadnot, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hadnot, would you please raise your right hand? You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Mr. Hadnot, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Hadnot? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Hadnot, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Alvin Samuel. Attorney Samuel, how are you doing?
great, sir.
And Mr. Samuel, do you waive a record in Mr. Hadnot's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Let me get this back. It should be a box below the class B that says DWI first.
Yes,
You could rest, okay. Now, Mr. Hadnot, I have before me on my computer. Well, first, did I swear you in?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Samuel, do you waive a record in Mr. Hadnot's case?
yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Now, Mr. Hadnot, I have before me a document that is titled Information on my computer. This document was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Wallen Paul Hadnot, on or about December 31st of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. Mr. Hadnot, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Hadnot, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Do you recognize this document? Now, Mr. Hadnot, we had to make a change on the first document. This first document, that the box that's checked states that this is a Class B misdemeanor driving while intoxicated. So the range of punishment is minimum 72 hours in the Jefferson County Jail to a maximum of 180 days in jail or a fine that does not exceed $2,000, or you could be given both such fine. Do you understand the range of punishment for a DWI
Yes.
Class B? Now, on page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials, WH on the line next to the box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document, it's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box is checked, states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Hadnot, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Hadnot, are you a citizen of the United States?
Same for stage one.
Any objections? No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Samuel, you have advised and counseled Mr. Hadnot. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
There's none, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hadnot, your attorney, Mr. Samuel, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Hadnot, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is to 15 months deferred probation with a $500 fine and 50 hours community service, as well as the installation, maintain an interlock device and DWI first standard conditions of probation.
What is this court cost? $392. Okay, Mr. Hadnot, the state is offering that you serve 15 months deferred adjudicated probation during the 15-month probationary period. You will be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $392. You will also be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100, probation fee of $6,000 a month, your license fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee $15. Your total monthly installments, well, your total monthly installments will be $152 a month. Will you be able to pay the $152 each month?
Yes.
You'll also be required to pay a Jefferson County DWI evaluation, initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. You'll also be required to perform 50 hours of community service, install an interlock device in any vehicle that you own and operate, attend and complete a DWI conviction class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions. This probation, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's probation, do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, I'll follow plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Hadnot, this will conclude your case. Mr. Hadnot, if you successfully complete your probationary period, you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in these matters. And with the non-disclosure, your case will be dismissed and you qualify for the non-disclosure. Now, Mr. Hadnot, please stand next to the bailiff, follow her direction. Once you finish following her directions, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Jamarion Stoker, Mr.
President, Your Honor.
Ms. Stoker, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Ms. Stoker, you represented in this case by your attorney Alvin Samuel. Attorney Samuel, what's your announcement?
Your Honor, Ms. Stoker is facing difficulties after this issue, and she's looking for employment. And we are attempting to resolve some things, but we need an additional setting. So if we can get
Okay.
a regular setting, it might give us enough time to get some of those things resolved.
Okay, give us a reset date. On the, it's right below Hadnot on the pre-trial conference docket. Yes. March 24th. Case reset to March 24th, 2025. Mr. Stoker, your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day, and I see that you kind of limping a little bit. Hope you have a I hope you have a full and speedy recovery.
Thank you.
Okay. And, Mr. Samuel,
That's it,
I
sir.
think this is the last case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You also.
Okay, it's ready, okay. It's Wilson. Okay. Wilson, okay. Carl Wilson.
Working on getting discovery printed before we're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. Seventy. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is in session in 3 cases, cause numbers M328630, cause number M333170, and cause number M330778. All 3 cases are styled in the state of Texas versus Carl Hunter Wilson. Mr. Wilson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Wilson, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Wilson?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Wilson, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Corey Crenshaw, and Attorney Crenshaw. Do you waive a record in Mr. Wilson's cases?
We do, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Wilson, in cause number M333170, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with alcohol, all concentration level 0.15 or more. However, state, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
We are, Your Honor.
Now, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. And what that basically means, Mr. Wilson, that you'll be charged with a lesser included offense, which is a Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about July 4th of 2022, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, I also have before me a document on this tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to the boxes. Check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line entitled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box is checked, states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? Second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State offer states one.
Any
No
objection? No objection. States Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Crenshaw, you advised and counseled Mr. Wilson. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Wilson, your attorney, Mr. Crenshaw, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 1 year deferred probation, $2,000 fine, 60 hours community service, DWI standard conditions of probation with interlock, and dismissal of the 2 companion cases.
That is correct, Your Honor.
You said 392? Okay, Mr. Wilson. The state is offering that you serve 12 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 12-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $2,000 plus court costs of $392. You'll also be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100, probation fee of $6 a month, UNICEF fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to reimburse, to pay Jefferson County DWI education an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, in this case, is $310 a month. Will you be able to pay the $310 a month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend a completed DWI education class, have an alcohol assessment, adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. State will be dismissing the companion cases, cause numbers M328630 and cause number M330778. Mr. Wilson, do you understand the state's offers?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offers in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Wilson, If you do not have anything else, well, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Wilson, gonna stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Crenshaw, I think this is your last case. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day. Yeah, Mr. Matthews. Okay. Let him know he can get his dismissal in
I'm trying to do
a
this.
few seconds. And he can get his dismissals.
No, you're not. I'm getting full first coffee. He is.
Okay, so we have one on the pre-trial conference call. You can try.
I thought they were still down in CDC.
Yes.
They never finished up that murder.
Yes.
He's in trial at CDC.
Okay, those dismissals I just signed up.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm trying to work on that pre-trial diversion, but it's going slow.
Michael Mackey.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm trying. That's the plot.
That door is locked, Mr. Wilson. You have to go through the other door. Okay, this is cause number M325446. Case is style of state of Texas versus Michael Cardon Mackey.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Mackey?
Pretty good, Judge. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Mackey, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Mackey, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Mackey, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Mackey, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Now, Attorney Macon, do you waive? Well, first of all, Mr. Macon, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor, for Monday.
Yes. And Mr. Macon, do you waive a record in
Yes,
Mr. Mackey's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mackey, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Now, in this information that alleges that you committed a class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. State, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
We are, Your Honor.
Now, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. And what that means, Mr. Mackey, it means that instead of being charged with a class A misdemeanor DWI, you'll be charged with a lesser included class B misdemeanor offense of DWI. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, to the class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about October 18th of 2019, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Plead guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Mackey, I also have before me on my tablet a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments, it's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are two sets of initials. One set of initials is initials of your attorney, and next to your attorney are these your initials?
Yes.
On the line next to the box that's checked guilty. On the next page, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document is titled trial court certification to defendant's right of appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature
Yes.
on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. First box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
I do.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Mackey, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
He did.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Mackey, are you a citizen of the United States?
I
State offer states one.
Any
No
objections?
objection.
No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you've advised and counseled Mr. Mackey, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Other than being aggressive, being
Digging Maggie's.
And Mr. Mackey, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Aye.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Mackey, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 90 days probated over 1 year, $1,000 fine, 100 hours community service, DWI standard conditions of probation and court cost.
What is the cost? Hey, what was the conditions of probation again?
It was just the DWI first standard conditions of probation. There is no interlock on this case, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Mackey, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $392. You'll be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100, a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $219 a month. Will you be able to pay the $219 each month?
Yeah.
You'll also be required to perform 100 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms of DWI probation. Mr. Mackey, do you understand the state's offer?
What was the DWI class attend thing?
That's a DWI education
Oh,
class that you have to attend. You have to attend and complete it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you understand the state's offer?
I do.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Mackey, I'll follow the pre-bargain agreements that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Mackey, you stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay, what? Oh, Keelan Randolph? And there's a, you said Burbank, there's a Keelan Randolph. He's on the announcement docket. Okay, but all Burbank's fine. I have him checked off here, he didn't answer. Keelan Randolph?
Oh, I do.
Huh?
It's set with his spelling.
Okay, he must be in felony court.
Yes.
Okay,
Is that what I'm?
yeah, he is in felony court.
Yeah.
Okay. Chelsea Broughton? Okay, Ms. Broughton, your attorney is Mr. Tom Burbank. Hey, Ms. Broughton, first of all, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. Burbank is currently in trial in another court, so he will not be here today. And so your case is going to be reset. And what's that reset date? It's going to be reset to March 17th. You're going to get your reset. In this case, she has pre-trial diversion on April 3rd. So we're going to reset this the second week of April. Was that April 14th? Or the 7th? Okay, this case is going to be reset to April 7th. What day of the week is that? Okay, this case is going to be reset to April 7th of 2025. You're going to get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go stay in contact with your attorney and your boss. Yeah, I know. Let's do, Mr. Adams? Oh, is he? He's not on there.
No, he was, he just.
Okay.
I can text him.
Pro, Mr. Grove,
Yes, sir.
you have Daisy Sam. Good morning, Miss Sam. Now, Miss Sam, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, and you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Miss Sam. You representing your case by your Attorney David Grove. Attorney Grove, how are you doing?
Very good day, dude. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Grove, let's see, new cases.
We've got about 4 cases on the trial docket, Judge, and she has one case from April of last year that she was arrested for, but has not been filed by the DA's office and has not been rejected by the DA's office. It's a DWI.
From the same events as the possession of dangerous drugs
Yeah.
in CW. So those cases were not set for trial. The theft case, the older theft case is.
I think the older theft case is the one that the prosecution would like to take to trial.
Okay, so give us a trial date. Okay, this is reset to March 24th. Now, let's see.
I ain't been.
And you said that there's a DWI that's out there that's
Well,
unfiled?
what happened, Judge, these cases originally were from 2023. And then she was rearrested on a completely different set of cases in April of 2024. And out of the 2024 cases, there were a couple of cases were filed, but she also was arrested for a DWI
In 2024?
in 2024, in April 2024, and they haven't filed it, they hadn't rejected it, they hadn't done anything with it. So we're kind of,
Yeah.
So it's hmm?
I was wondering if it was the same occurrence.
It is
Yes.
with I guess with the UCW and the possession, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yeah.
and they're from that same set
Criminal
of
episode?
circumstances.
Okay.
And she's got some bond restrictions, Judge, and some things like that. So it's been kind of difficult.
So let me ask you this. Have the agency
And,
turned the case over to the DA's office or not? So it still may be with the agency.
It may still be with agency. That's the problem, Judge. We don't know where it is. And I think at least last time we checked, the case had not been submitted to the DA's office.
Not at this point.
They never submitted it?
No, Your Honor. Which is not unusual because there's another DWI on the docket, or another set of cases on the docket that has a similar issue where we just recently received the DWI. So it's not unusual for it to take a while to get the testing back
Oh,
in these cases.
okay. So they may be waiting on some lab tests or something.
Well, I mean, Judge, it's been almost a year. And that's kind of, but again, if it's, if we do something, try to trial or dispose of her
You're
cases
talking about
now, and then
Well,
that one pops up,
I mean, we got one case that's not attached to those other.
yes, sir. No,
Yeah.
there's at least, I believe 2 cases aren't attached to it, but
It's all right up there.
Because you got, okay, let's keep it on it. Yeah, okay, reset to 324. 2025 trial. Okay, so all of them will be reset on that day. March 24th.
that's fine, Judge. Sure.
Mr. Grove, you can get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you're a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay, we have, let's see. Paget has Harper. We hadn't heard from Mr. Paget, have we? He came in. Well, have we heard from Mr. Gilthorpe?
Yeah, more than that, him.
Roberto Roman.
Thank you.
Mr. Roman, your full name is Roberto Rivera Roman.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Roman?
Well, fine, how about yourself, Judge?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Roman, you're representing your case by your attorney, Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. Thank you for asking.
And Mr. You're welcome. Now, Mr. Wilkerson, what is your announcement in Mr. Roman's case?
Your Honor, Mr. Roman was accepted into pretrial diversion and is attending the April 3rd signing. So we can get a date after
Is that
that.
April 7th? Roman on announcement docket, page 4, the bottom of page 4. Case will be reset to April 7th, 2025. Mr. Roman, Mr. Roman, you're gonna get your reset from court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go stay in contact with your attorney and your boss.
God bless that.
Same you. Jules Savoy.
Your Honor, on this case, the state has received a DWI from the same offense state. We received it last month in January.
Yeah, last time we were here, Judge,
Has it been filed?
It has not been filed yet, but it's in received status, so it should be filed into a court.
last time we were here, we did a 60-day reset for the state to double check on that DWI that may be filed with this case. And so
They just received it.
they just received it. And so it looks like they're proceeding with getting that filed. I think probably it's best. to
Standard
just-
reset.
Yes, sir.
Give us a reset.
From the announcement.
Yes, on page 5, the first one. Reset, you say March 24th? Okay. Mr. Savoy, your case will be reset to March 24th. You can get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Please have a seat. Second chair on the wall. And that's, so we waiting for your other cases.
Mr. Mayfield, okay, for the
Yeah.
paperwork to get,
Yeah, wait for the paper.
okay. I'll just have a seat.
Okay. Darian Harper. Mr. Harper is appearing via Zoom with his attorney. Mr. Harper,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing, Mr. Harper?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Harper, you're representing the case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget, who is also appearing via Zoom. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Paget, do you waive a record? Well, Mr. Paget, what is
Yes,
your
Your Honor.
involvement in Mr. Harper's case?
Your Honor, we are completing discovery. I have everything but the video evidence, and it should take, well, I mean, as soon as I receive it, we'll set up an appointment with Mr. Harper and we'll be prepared to go forward.
Okay, your case is gonna be reset. Give us a reset date. Page 3 of the announcement docket. Okay, this case will be reset to March 24th, 2025. Mr. Harper, your attorney, your boss will be given notice of your reset date. You're free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Case
All
set.
right, you too.
24th. And let's see. I see another case on here, Mr. Paget. That case is, that person had pretrial diversion. Was that Sarah Wilson?
Yes, Your Honor, she signed her pretrial diversion contract last Thursday.
Okay, so this case is, this case is gonna be dismissed today. Okay,
I hope so, Your Honor.
yeah, no,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
telling you, it's gonna be dismissed today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize. I took the,
So you're free to go. That's it? That's his last case, right? Okay,
yes, sir.
so you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you are. Mr. Randolph, your full name is Keelan Randolph?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Randolph?
Fine.
I'm doing fine. And Mr. Randolph, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Thomas Burbank, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burbank is currently in trial in another court. So therefore, he will not be here today. You have a felony case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a reset on your felony case?
Yeah, they told me they go, let Burbank know when I come back.
Okay, hold on, she's gonna check to see if they put it in the computer. If they put it in the computer, we'll put it on the same date that they gave you. If it's not in the computer, she'll continue to check in the computer later on today and maybe this week. And when she get that date, she'll send it to your attorney and your boss. Okay, so they haven't reset it yet, so you're free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney, your boss, but again, this misdemeanor case, or these misdemeanor cases will be set on the same day of your felony case. So you need to do the same thing that you did today. Come check in here first, and then go to the felony case. Once you finish there, you'll come back here and let us know. All right, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Right plan. So just have a seat. Mayfield only had one case. Debbie and Terrell Mayfield. Ms. Wilkins. Okay, this is. Okay, court is in session and clause numbers 24 CCCR 1998 and clause number 24 CCCR 1999. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Tavian Tyrell Mayfield. Mr. Mayfield, is that your full name? Mr. Mayfield, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Mayfield, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Mayfield, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Mayfield?
Good.
Doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Mayfield, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
Well, Judge,
And Ms. Wilkerson, do you waive a record in Mr. Mayfield cases?
we do, Your Honor.
Mr. Mayfield, I have before me in cause number 24 CCCR 1999, a document that is titled Information. This information is filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Mayfield, it alleges that you, Tavian Tyrell Mayfield, on or about March 23rd of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of marijuana in 2 ounces. Mr. Mayfield, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Mayfield, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Mayfield, I also have before me on my tablet a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials. T, I'm on the line next to the box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest as you place your initials on this document. On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature? I also have another document that is titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Mayfield, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that Mr. Wilkerson went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Mayfield, are you a citizen of the United States?
Stay for stage 1.
No objection.
No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Wilkerson, you have advised any counsel, Mr. Mayfield, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Mayfield, your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Mayfield, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement in this case is the 6 months deferred probation with the fine waived, 24 hours community service, and $230 restitution to the New York Police Department. The companion case, 24 ZCCR 1998, will be dismissed for forfeiture.
Okay, Mr. Mayfield. The state is offering that you serve 6 months. Hold on, that's 6 months deferred. Mr. Wilkerson, are you appointed in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Okay, now, Mr. Mayfield, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 month probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. You will be required to pay court costs. What was that court cost again?
277.
Okay, Mr. Mayfield, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine. Well, your fine is waived, so your fine is zero. You will be required to pay court costs, however, in the amount of $277. You'll be required to pay probation fee of $6 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. And you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $425. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $233 a month. Will you be able to pay the $233 a month? You'll also be required to perform 24 hours of community service. And you'll be required to adhere to the standard terms and conditions of probation. And part of this probation, the companion case cause number 24CCCR 1998 will be dismissed for forfeiture of weapon. Also, you will be required to pay restitution. I didn't even put the restitution in here. I need to add the restitution in here. 230.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the restitution is this is gosh. But it's gonna change the amount that you required to pay a month. Okay, so the restitution, we're gonna add that. And so let me repeat this to you. State is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation during the 6 month probationary period. You will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a year analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $425. And you will be required to pay restitution in the amount of $230 to the Needham Police Department. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $279 a month. Will you be able to pay the $279 each month? You will also be required to forfeit the weapon in this case to the Needham Police Department. I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon to the Needham Police Department. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, before you signed and initialed this document, did your attorney go over this document with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, I'm granting the motion to forfeit the weapon to the Nederland Police Department. And the companion case, cause number 24 CCCR 1998 will be dismissed. Mr. Mayfield, do you understand the state's offer? Think the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Do you accept the state's offer? Okay. Mr. Mayfield, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Mayfield, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction in your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite confident in those matters. You're gonna stand next to the bailiff, follow her direction. Once you follow her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Okay,
Judge, I believe that concludes my cases.
yes, and Ms. Wilkerson, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold on a minute. He's right there. Leticia Valencia. How you doing, Valencia?
Sí, no hablo
Oh, okay.
inglés.
Mr. Gilthorpe,
Yes, Judge.
is that your client, Ms. Valencia?
Yes,
Sí.
Judge.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
What is your announcement?
Judge, we just need to be put on a plea docket. I had jury duty this morning in Orange County. And so if we could just get on a plea docket, we'll resolve that one.
Give us a plea docket, reset it. First week in March. Push it up.
March 10th.
Yeah. What about the 3rd? Oh, yeah, 10th, okay. Okay, this case gonna be reset to March 10th of 2025. Ms. De Gilthorpe, you can tell your client the case is reset to March 10th because I think she doesn't speak English.
Understood, Judge. I'll make sure she understands. Señora Betancourt, ya le están poniendo una fecha nueva para el 10 de marzo, ¿ok? Y estaremos en contacto.
El 10 de marzo.
Sí, el 10 de marzo.
¿Por videollamada?
En persona.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell her she's free to go and tell her she can have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. Ya se puede colgar y el juez dice que tenga un día bendecido.
Igualmente, Okay, gracias.
Okay. She says,
Okay.
same to you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Bye-bye.
Now, Mr. Gilthorpe, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Your reset will be sent to you.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Okay.
No, but LeBlanc is on there.
Yeah, let's get Mr. Kimberly ready. LeBlanc? Is he on? Mary and Scott? Miss Scott, your full name is Marion Scott? Mariah Scott?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Miss Scott?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Scott, you represented your case by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge. Thanks for asking.
Okay, now, Mr. LeBlanc, oh, I see she was supposed to stand with pretrial, is that correct? There's a note on the compute, on my sheet that says she was supposed to sign in December. Y'all still trying to apply for pretrial diversion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, have y'all, received any, have you submitted the letter to, the district attorney's office?
I believe we have, Judge. I'm not at the office right now, but if we hadn't, we will.
Okay, well, we'll reset this the second week in, let's set a second week in April. He's on the announcement docket page 2, Mariah Scott.
Second week on April 7th.
Okay, this case will be reset to April 7th, 7th of 2025. Ms. Scott, you're gonna get your reset here in court, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. They will be given notice of your reset date. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. Mitchell Warner, come forward. Mr. Warner, your full name is Mitchell Mark Warner.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Warner, how are you doing?
Good, I'm tired.
Okay, I understand that. Now, Mr. Warner, your attorney, Mr. Kimler, was here earlier, and you were in drug court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did they reset your court date
No, Your Honor.
from drug court?
Morning, 9 o'clock.
Hmm?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, you
9
gotta
o'clock.
come back tomorrow when your case is set for trial?
Please, so, yes, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna reset this case for tomorrow as well.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
just come here, check in at 9 and then go to drug court.
Yes, sir.
And when you're finished in drug court, you can come back and let us know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
This case is set tomorrow at 9. Do we need to get it? She's gonna give you a reset. Okay,
Right, now he has some that was brought over. from
hold on. Let me get Mr. Macon. Jared Hargroder.
Yes, Judge.
How you doing, Mr. Hargroder?
I've been better. Not feeling that great today. Thank you for letting me do this.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, Mr. Hargroder, you represented in your case by Attorney James Macon. Mr. Macon was on Zoom.
They said he should be there
His
shortly.
chair is there.
Yeah, his chair is there.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. We have to call his office. Now, Mr. Hargroder,
Yes.
we had to contact your attorney. Apparently his, secretary set up the Zoom, and he's a few minutes out from from his office. So we're gonna take a brief reset.
Okay.
Recess. Okay, we'll wait for him to arrive.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Oh, Gary left.
Okay. You're on.
I think I really have blonde hair.
The judge said, I saw him come on there and said, do I look like James? All right.
There I am.
Okay.
You put your headset on.
Mr. Hargroder, how are you feeling?
I'm not that great. There's been
This
both
is,
both the
okay,
stomach virus and flu going around my work, so.
okay, this is cause number M333140, case of style of state of Texas versus Jared Wesley Hargroder. Mr. Hargroder is appearing via Zoom. And again, Mr. Hargroder, how are you doing?
I'm okay considering. Thank you, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Hargroder's attorney is Mr. James Macon. Mr. Macon, what is your announcement in Mr. Hargroder's case? His mic is on. Mr. Macon, your mic is on mute.
He's gonna be a plea. I'd ask for a short reset.
Okay, give us a short recess. March 10th? Yeah.
March 10th.
Okay, this case will be reset to March 10th of 2025. Mr. Hargroder, your attorney, your bonds will give notice of your reset date. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bonds. You need to be in court in person on that day, March 10th, 2025. And we hope you have a speedy recovery.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you have a blessed day. And Mr. Macon, you're free to go and you have a blessed day as well.
You too. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Mr. Hargroder, give me a call.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number 24 CCCR 1754, case of South State of Texas versus Jason Wayne Bickford. Mr. Bickford was scheduled to be in court at 9 a.m. and about 9 a.m. the court's bailiff called his name at 9 a.m. He answered. The court recalled this case again at 12. The time is 12:13 p.m. on today's date of February 10th of 2025. Mr. Bickford is not present in court. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Jason Bickford at the courthouse door? Jason Bickford's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Jason Bickford did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Bickford an opportunity to appear in court. Is not in court. State, you have a motion?
State moves for bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Jason Bickford bond will be forfeited and a warrant should be issued for his arrest. And cause number 24 CCCR 1754. And this will conclude the calling of the court's trial docket, pre-trial conference docket, and the announcement docket, all three dockets on today's date of February 10th, 2025 in County Court at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day. Prosecutors, you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.